We are very happy to welcome back to the show Michaela Peters, who joined us i le vaiasuna tēnei lunga le tātou hamo chats. Leo toi whaatasi mai lunga le tātou porkala me awa le whaalauloina ia o lana research ia po lana susuenga foi sa ili linga lo whaia nei i le University of Otago ia awa ia lana whailonga lo tamu whai tuai ia le forma i le tō whamanino po le PhD. Michaela, who is, as I said, a PhD candidate at the University of Otago, is currently undertaking a research titled Tautai Lumana'i, a skilled health workforce for tomorrow. And so we're really excited to have her on the show this afternoon to talk to us about that research and whether you might be able to take part in that research. So big talofa lava and welcome back to the 685 show. Michaela, thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Malo sofa, Lani, thank you for having me.
Malo.
And talofa to everyone that's listening right now.
Awesome. Hey, thank you for making the time. I know the life of a PhD candidate and work is very busy, so I appreciate you making the time this afternoon. Last week you shared a bit about your journey and coming from Samoa to becoming a student here in New Zealand. Now, this week we're moving into Tautai Lumana'i, which is your research project that you're working on. Can you tell us a bit about what is Tautai Lumana'i?
Thank you, Lani. So yes, our PhD project at the moment. First, I'd actually just like to acknowledge the HRC for giving us the opportunity to be able to carry this research project out. Our research project, we are looking at 9 groups of health professionals. So those who work as doctors, dentists, oral health therapists, physiotherapists, pharmacists, psychologists, midwives and nurses, and all those who are Pacific and work in those fields. We just want to look into the experiences and the contributions that they have within the health system here in New Zealand and the contributions that they have within health systems across the wider Pacific region. So we're very interested in seeing where our Pacific graduates from here in New Zealand have gone to work and what their career journeys look like and what work they're doing to contribute to improving the health outcomes for our Pacific peoples.
Malo whawhtai. Now, you've mentioned, you're looking at the experiences of such a wide list of, health professionals, but specifically those of Pacific descent. What are some of the key themes and I guess stories that have stood out for you so far in this research?
Yes, so with the survey responses that we've received so far, a lot of people have mentioned they contribute a lot to the Pacific communities, regardless of what role they are and whether they work in a hospital or more a community practice or private practice. Often the key themes that have come through so far have been about their work they do for Pacific communities on top of their job description at work.
Right.
So with the full-time work that they already do, they feel they have these expectations to carry out the work needed in order to fill the gaps so that our Pacific peoples feel that we are serving them and that we are doing what we can to improve their livelihoods.
Would that, obviously that sharing or that, I guess that common theme that a lot of our professionals are kind of bringing up in the responses that you've had, would you see it as like a strength or is it a barrier for, our Pacific workforce, health workforce professionals?
I'd definitely say it's a strength. As Pacific peoples, this is what we bring to the table. So not only are our Pacific health professionals clinically competent, but they also have that cultural competence as they understand firsthand the cultural upbringings they've had and their experience before working in the health workforce.
Mm,
So I believe that as Pacific peoples, we do add a lot to the table, and those are our strengths that we lean into as Pacific peoples, our cultures and our values and traditions, and we can bring that forward into the health workforce.
mm,
On the other hand, I do understand that for some people it feels like it could be the other way around, where they feel very burnt out and stressed
yeah.
from being the one brown person that's on the ward that has to advocate for our Pacific patients
Yeah.
in the hospital. So I do understand it's a bit of a tough balance that some of our Pacific health professionals may be experiencing and may be facing
Mm,
in the past, even up to now, and probably in the future. But hopefully, with our research project, we get all of these experiences, hear everyone's stories, and feed these back to the relevant bodies so that we can make put in some structures and make some changes so our Pacific health professionals feel they are being supported.
yeah. I love that note at the end about the purpose is essentially once this research is finished, it will you know be sent to the relevant people to make the calls and make the changes. How do you see the research influencing, whether it be policy or training or support? What does that look like for you, or what's the vision?
Yes, that's a great question. So my vision is that this research, we do feedback to, for example, the tertiary institutions, so the universities and the polytechs
Right.
that employ these health professional programs, so that we can recruit more Pacific peoples into these programs and have in the future more health professionals that are Pacific descent working here in New Zealand and in the wider Pacific region. Not only the tertiary institutions, but also the training bodies. For example, in medicine, you have the College of Surgeons and you have the College of Physicians,
Mm,
and these are training bodies that help develop the skills needed for our doctors to specialize. So one example could be we feed back our research back to them and say, hey, these are some of what our Pacific doctors are facing. Is there any way you can integrate some of our findings into how you can better professionally develop our Pacific health professionals?
mm. Coming from Samoa, we are all too familiar with some of the challenges that are, kind of our health system at home is currently facing and it's experiencing. Do you see a space where, or an opportunity where this research could um, potentially kind of inform some of the work that's going on back home and maybe in the wider Pacific region?
Yes, for sure. At the moment, I'm not exactly too sure what that would look like.
Mm,
We have a lot of Pacific Health champions involved in this project.
right.
So people like Dr. Josh Agnew, who he is of Cook Island descent, and
Mm,
for example, he works sometime in the Cook Islands himself. So things like that, he can take his experiences and some of our research findings and employ that in the Cook Islands. So there is potential for our research to help where we can in the wider Pacific region, and
mm,
that would be amazing to see. And again, it would be great if we could have lots of people involved in sharing their stories through our online survey and in our interviews to be able to capture um, all of their great work that and their great ideas into how we can uh, give back to our Pacific Islands.
yeah. Beautiful. Now, I know the purpose of this interview and the Aotearoa this afternoon is to try and capture as many of our health professionals, our Pacific health professionals that are currently working in or have worked in any of the medical fields or health professional fields to take part in this research. So, giving the opportunity to for you to drop the pitch for anyone who might be tuning in or anyone who will come across this video, in the coming days. How can they get amongst and be a part of this key research?
Thank you, Lani. Um, just a little bit of context. So our study is a mixed method study. So we've given out a survey online anyone can access to.
Mm-hmm.
And with the survey, it's just a short, anonymous 10-minute online survey that asks a lot about your career path, your career journeys, your contributions to Pacific patients and their families, as well as leadership as well in the health system. So I'll just quickly share my screen. If anyone watching would like to take a screenshot of this,
Absolutely.
that would be great. And for those who know anyone in the health workforce, if you could share this with your family and friends and
Awesome.
colleagues. So we are calling for Pacific peoples who have completed their health professional degree here in New Zealand and seeing where they've gone across New Zealand and in the wider Pacific region.
Mm.
And from there, we can capture a lot of your stories and a lot of your experiences. And also, we'll be able to do some in-depth interviews to explore more about your experiences and contributions.
Awesome. Malofa fitai. We will, for those who are tuning in this afternoon, we will capture that link and post it at the bottom of the description of our interview this afternoon, where you can click on the link and take part in that survey. I guess as we wrap up this afternoon, Michaela, just any final words? I know there might be some young Pacific students or prospective students who are thinking of, obviously a career in health, but to getting to the stage where you are in terms of research and, advising policy and that kind of thing. What advice or encouragement would you share with them today?
I would say come to the University of Otago.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
um, no, I'd say just go for it. Here at the University of Otago, we have a foundation program. So that's a 1 year course that you can do before you start your health sciences year. Um, you can do your health sciences year and then apply for a health professional program. And we do need our Pacific peoples to be applying for our health professional programs. We need more dentists, we need more oral health therapists, we need more nurses and physios that are of Pacific descent. Even if you even if you don't get in your first time, that's so fine. That's very common, and there's still so many avenues out there to be able to undertake a health professional program.
Mm.
So for our youth that are listening, I'd say just take up the opportunity if you can, and please do reach out. There are lots of sponsorships, lots of funding available, and we can all do our part and our role in ensuring that you receive the support that you deserve.
Awesome. Hey, Michaela, thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to following your journey as you put it all together and compile the research, and then hopefully sometime very soon get to ring the bell down there at the University of Otago when you submit. But until then, please keep us posted and we follow your journey with excitement. Ia manuia tele, ia tapenanga, ia mese whamoemoenga umalawa o alo tuai, ia mo le whamai aina, ia o le fōi suenga tāua. Big love to all of our Otago family down there, and we'll catch up again soon.
Thank you, Lani.
All right, so fua mai manuia.